Hey crew, Duncan here from intelligentinvestinghq.com. And one of the great questions that I often get asked as an investment strategist has been a question relating to property. And that is, Dunk, should I own a property to live in or should I rent? What is the best financial decision? Wow, what a great question. And I think that one of the best ways in which I could even attempt to analyze that in this short video clip is to remind everyone that the rules across the world are different in home ownership. So some people will have read something that they've seen from the US on property ownership and how that might work. Please understand that the way that the United States property system works with home ownership and also investing is very different to in Australia, which is also different to how it works in New Zealand. So please remember that whenever you're going to look at advice from somewhere, make sure you're aware that you're taking advice and guidance from someone at least in the same country as you, so you know what the rules are. Look, there are lots of pros and cons around home ownership. And in Australia, we have the opportunity where if you own a home and it increases in value, you get to retain 100% of the profit through capital gains exemption, okay, which is a current law in Australia. Whereas if you own investment properties and it goes up in value, then when you do sell an investment property, you either have to pay 100% of the capital gain if you've owned it for 12 months or less, or only 50% of the capital gain if you've owned it for 12 months or more. But in your own home, that any capital gain is exempt from any kind of tax. So you could live in your home and financially it could be a great result. But here's the thing. A lot of home owners within Australia are not doing it for a profit. And I certainly own my own home. Well, I don't actually own my home. My wife owns our home with no mortgage, based on lifestyle considerations, based on having a safe place that as a family of four, we can do whatever we want to the property. We can put pictures up, we can landscape, we can do whatever without any problems, which we couldn't do if we were renting. So it was a lifestyle decision. And for a lot of people, remember that home ownership that your parents went through and your grandparents went through was a massive decision. And most people live based on where they need to work. So where you reside is not often a lifestyle decision. It's actually a practical decision based on zonings for schools, based on proximity to work, based on location of public transport, etc., etc. If you chose to buy a place in the ideal location that would suit you down to the ground, for a lot of people that will either be in the center of the city or it'll be on the coast with oceanfront views. And to have that is going to be really expensive. So again, you're looking at the $750,000, $1 million or more to have that home lifestyle experience. Therefore, here's a phrase that you might want to take on board, okay? And that is, you want to own the property that you can rent out, but you want the rent the property that you want to live in. Okay, I'll say that again. You may want to own the property that you plan on renting out, but you rent the property that you plan on living in. So what I mean by that is you could own property that other people will want to rent. You want to own property that is in demand, that people want to live in, and you plan to rent that out because that is what's in demand. That is what the market wants. However, from your lifestyle perspective, instead of living in the burbs somewhere, you might decide that you want to rent the property that you choose to live in. So rather than having to take out a 30-year mortgage worth $800,000 so you can live beachfront, for a fraction of your ongoing mortgage payments, you may actually be able to rent that property out. You will still have the same experience. You'll be able to come home to an environment that fills you up, that turns you on, that juices you up. You don't have to worry about maintenance. You don't have to worry about insurance. Rent money is not dead money. Rent money gives you an opportunity to live somewhere that you may not normally have the experience to. The dead money component is if there is a difference between home mortgage repayments and rent, what do you do with that surplus? So remember, in these kind of considerations, there's more than just a financial consideration. There is a lifestyle, there is an emotional consideration. So take this little phrase away, and it might be something that you could think about. It may suit your lifestyle, it may not suit your lifestyle, and that is that you want to own the property that you can rent out, and you want to rent the property that you choose to live in. Take it easy, peeps, and I know that I'll talk to you again around the traps.